So this is almost a spontaneous video, but I've just been thinking about this for quite a while now. I think it deserves to actually be talked about and not just, just running through my mind every single day. But, it's one thing to say that you believe in God, and then it's another thing to actually look within God, right? So I just opened this book up after a while. So after my confirmation, I just kind of just left it in my room, just sitting there. And I've been thinking about lately that I say I believe in God, but do I really practice it, So it's one thing to just go to church on Sundays. It's one thing to pray at night and just wish for your dreams to come true. It's one thing to pray before eating your food, and those things are great, obviously. They're all awesome. It's a start. And I also read the declaration every single morning. You see my post on Instagram every single day on my story. I'm always reading a declaration right here. And so every single day, there's like a mini verse, like a mini paragraph, just explaining a different topic every day. So every day for 365 days, there's going to be a different paragraph there for you to read as like your declaration for the daily. And so I've been doing that for past, I don't even know, I think 5-6 months or 4 to 5 months, around there. My friend gave it to me, so God bless him for giving me that and having me have it. And so I just started to do that as a start, just because with the Bible, I really didn't know where to start. So I just kind of laid it off. It sounded too confusing. I would search up on YouTube how to start reading the Bible, and then all these videos would pop up and with these different answers, and it might be super obvious, like you just read in the beginning, right? And that might be the case, and I was in this analysis paralysis of like, where do I start reading the Bible? And I would get confused, and then I would just lay it off for another few weeks, and until I felt like really religious, and I was like, okay, where do I start reading the Bible? And I would get confused again, and then I would just lay it off for a couple weeks, and that was like the cycle I was in that I truly hated. I was just pushing off probably the most important relationship I'm gonna have in my entire life, and so I decided to just start. So I searched up on YouTube, Bible study, just any type of Bible study that I'm gonna read, just to start. It might not be the best start, but it's a start. It's somewhere. And so it's just this guy that popped up on YouTube reading the book of Proverbs. It's like day 1 to 31st, or day 1 to 31 of reading each chapter in the book of Proverbs. And I started this about a week ago, like just reading, not reading, but just listening to him read. And then there's like on the screen, there's like text of what he's reading exactly or what he's highlighting. And so I decided to just follow along with that. Just every single day I would do one day or one video. Day 1, boom, knock that video out every single night. Day 2, day 3, day 4, and believe I'm like on day 8 or 9 now. And so after doing that for a week or so, I decided to like, okay, it's one thing to read the declaration every single morning. It's one thing to watch these videos. It's one thing to just go to church on Sundays and, you say you're religious, but you really don't, practice it much, because once you exit the church, it's like, oh, I'm back to normal life now. I don't really want to do that anymore. I actually want to dive deeper. So I just decided to open the book of the Bible, just open the Bible now. It's just today, after a while, after confirmation. And so this is just the start of my journey of it, right? Is it the best start? Who knows? We don't know. I'm not a religious preacher. I'm not a preacher. I'm just saying that there could be someone else out there who's going through the same situation as me, and they just feel like they're the only ones who's going through it, because they see all these people like they memorize verses and they all know all this stuff and they understand the Bible so much, and I feels like I know very little about God, which I kind of do, but it feels like the knowledge gap between all these people who are reading the Bible and memorizing all these verses and practicing and preaching compared to where I'm at. It feels like, wow, what have I been doing? Kind of nothing to learn more about God. So that's why I've opened this book finally. And just to start, in the book of Proverbs, which in the book of Proverbs, based on what I've learned, is all about wisdom, right? It's been talking about a lot of just wisdom and saving yourself from, well, this might be controversial, but saving yourself from promiscuous women who could lead you to doing some sinning. So that's just where I'm at right now. It was talking about wisdom at first, And then it started to talk about the women and how a man should save his flesh and not go with the, immoral woman. So that's just where I'm at right now. And I can really relate with some of the things that have been said so far in this book, as like he in the book of Proverbs, he explains it in such like a way of art, right? He doesn't just say like simple words. He explains it in a way, like in a different way, in a religious like way, but you still understand what he's saying, you know? So I mean, I'm just flipping through the pages right here. I need to do some highlighting based off what I've done in the past, but I've also been reading Outwitting the Devil right now by Napoleon Hill. And it's really ironic that I've just started to read both of these things at the same time, and they're kind of compatible with, evil is trying to always put you down every single day by using the power and the force of energy, in the force of fear, in the fear of poverty, fear of loss of love, and all these different things. And in the book of the Bible and Proverbs, it's also talking about that stuff, which is really crazy how I'm able to like now connect the two. How, God is trying to save us, and then the evil is not even trying to beg for us. He's just constantly in war with our minds every single day, trying to get us to lead to sin, trying to get us to lead to doing bad things, to not succeed in life. And the devil uses, or not the devil, yeah, we would just say the devil. He is not like an animal with horns and a fork, like in the movies or in the cartoons. He's in the form of energy and time and space. And he's always constantly trying to get us to do not the right thing. He's trying to get us to sin. He doesn't want us to succeed. He doesn't want us to actually think. And he uses the power of drifting, which 98% of the people, which according to that book, I'm just going off the book, 98% of the people in this world just drift. They just go through life without, really thinking. And that's the power that you can use, and the weapon you use against the devil is the power to think for yourself, and not having all these external factors, all these environments to really make it think for you, right? That's the power that we lost as children. As children, we were really raising our hands in school every single day. We were vocal. I used to want to do presentations in school until like 5th or 6th grade is like when I started to become really shy. I feared the judgment of others. I had a lot of doubt, and I'm starting to come out of that shell now. Not caring about what others think. I'm making content online now. I'm fixing my body, not going to fast food restaurants. And that's also another one. The devil feeds us poison to avoid us from thinking. Because when you have whole foods, when you have good foods, I don't want to get off a tangent here, but when you have good foods, you think better. Your mind is more clear. Your physical health is much better. But with all this junk food, with all this fast food, that's just a weapon that the devil uses so that we can get in complacency, to not think for ourselves, to keep being comfortable, to get used to comfort, which is why I like to challenge my body every single day, because the moment I get into complacency is the moment I lose my goals. That's the moment I lose my goals, right? And so every single day I'm journaling, even if it's the same thing every single day. I'm challenging my brain to think. I'm challenging my body in the cold shower. I'm challenging myself to wake up early in the morning to do the push-ups every single day, because and this just reinforces the actions that I'm taking is the right path. That book reinforces that what I'm doing is the right path. And so if I can reinforce myself with the power of the Bible to help me along with the journey, that's going to be truly some just like unstoppable reach right there that I'm not going to succeed. I don't know. I just feel like there's something much more out there, and just reading these things all simultaneously has just been really powerful for me. So maybe the physical aspects haven't changed. I'm still in like the physical body that I'm not really want to be in, but I know that if I keep working hard, I'll be able to get the dream physique that I've always wanted. I'll be able to do all the things I've always wanted in the future. But kind of lost my train of thought, if I'm being honest. So, I mean, just truly, I don't want to get off topic, but that's why I opened this Bible, because to reinforce that and distinguish the correct actions and not the actions you feel like doing, right? The actions you feel like doing is called temptations sometimes. and most of the time it's not going to serve you, right? And so that's the reason why I opened up this book, to get closer, to get more wisdom, to get more guidance, and to have a beacon to really look forward to. And that this is just reassurance with the path that I'm on. It may be like hell. It may be, not ideal. It may be different than what people are going through. But I know that if I just keep reading this and I implement everything that I read, and not just read it just to read, and I actually exit the church and practice what God preaches and practice what I've vowed to preach, then I'll be able to, who knows where I'll be. But I don't want to make this too long. I just want to explain that, I'm not the perfect religious preacher. I'm not trying to be a preacher at all. I'm just explaining that if you're confused on where to start and you don't know if your path is the right path, I suggest you open the book of God, or at least start by watching videos, right? Just start by watching videos, and you'll be able to reinforce your mind that you are on the right page. Literally, you were literally on the right page. And if you just don't give up, then who knows where you'll be at. So that's the beauty, right? You just don't know what's going to happen. And that's the whole point of the game. You just don't know what's going to happen. And it could be good or it could be bad. But one thing is for sure, you just control the present moment. And based off what your habits are right now, I'll probably tell you where you'll be in the future. So that's it for today, though. I don't want to make this too long. I simply just want to explain what my thought process was to, it might be embarrassing that I haven't been reading the Bible, or maybe someone else out there hasn't been reading the Bible, and I just want to inspire them to actually open up and begin. Just begin anywhere. I mean, you might be so confused. You might be thinking that all the Bible is just a bunch of rules that you have to follow by. It's not just rules. It's a practice. It's a practice that serves best for us to save ourselves from big mistakes in the real world. Save ourselves from making big mistakes, from real problems. And to always be grateful for wherever you're at, no matter if problems come up or not. Hardships are part of the journey. So just gonna leave it at that. I really don't know how to exit these videos. I really don't know how to do an outro, but I guess I'll just say I'll see you in the next one. And if I ever get any wisdom or knowledge that really aligns with my life or relates to me, I'll probably share it on my Instagram. Follow the Instagram, it'll be down below. Or just follow the Instagram, as my process is there every single day. I'm doing my push-ups, reading, doing all these things, and every day is different. So I'll catch you in the next one.